So here's a question. How much heat is needed to raise the temperature 252 grams of iron from 22 to 98 degrees Celsius? The specific heat of iron is 0.45 joules per gram Celsius. Now, be aware that this equation that I shared with you before, which is Q equals M, let's just use dot C delta T, can be used to solve for any of these. So at this level, we know how to manipulate the equation. So if I'm solving for mass, then I would need to be given the heat, the specific heat, and the change in temperature. If I'm solving for specific heat, which generally can be, is usually shown that way, it would be Q over M times delta T. Or if I'm solving for delta T or even one temperature, then I would be solving for delta T, and then of course I would go on to do the rest of my algebra. So let's look at this question. So it says you're given how much energy or how much heat is needed to raise the temperature of 252 grams. So you know that that's going to be the mass, that's M. From 22 degrees Celsius to 98. You know this is going to be T initial, and this is going to be T final. The specific heat right here, so that's going to be C. It's asking for heat, so we're solving for Q. So therefore, we have our equation right here. It's going to be Q equals M is 252 times, here's the specific heat, 0.45, times the change in temperature. You can subtract if you would like before, or just plug it all in here. So that would be 98 Celsius minus 22. So remember, delta T is T final minus T initial. And you need 3 sig figs here because of the mass and the temperature. Remember, this is not a measured number, specific heat. So if you go on and do this calculation, you would get 8618.4 0.4 joules. And if we round to 3 sig figs, that would be 1, 2, 3. What comes after the 1 is an 8. So you would increase that to a 2. So it would be 8620 joules. Remember, we have to maintain the value, which of course you should be able to know that this is 8.62 kilojoules, because remember, kilo is 1,000.